At the beginning of May, we listed some few stocks that you should watch out for the next quarter. That is the second quarter of 2026. And we are still keeping our eyes on those stocks. Now, we've discovered some new guys are about to explode in this June. I'll be listing those guys to you to also watch them. But before we do that, if you want to join our community, now there is a profile, there's a link on our profile, a Telegram link, where you can actually click through and come to our community and join us, discuss stocks, and also discuss your issues on a daily basis, because the market moves on a daily basis and we have to update you on a daily basis. So the link is just there on our profile. Now, welcome to Clockwise. So today we'll be discussing very interesting issues. We're talking about those stocks we've discovered, those new stocks that will likely explode in this June 2026. And like I do it here, I come with my in-house analyst. I tell you every time that he sleeps on the chart, he sleeps on these fundamentals. My name is Providence, and with a resounding virtual round of applause, welcome Mr. Kane.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Clockwise.
Thank you very much.
We are still watching those stocks we listed at the beginning of May.
Yeah.
We're still watching them because we actually said these stocks will perform so greatly in the second quarter. So by the end of the second quarter, we are going to review those stocks. But you see, there are some guys that are coming up. Some guys we did not see earlier, but we've seen them because you are paying attention to the market. Now, before we go to list those particular guys or those particular companies, let's first of all do a sectoral review of the Nigerian stock market. What is actually going on now, sector by sector?
Okay, thank you very much. What we see over the past couple of weeks has been a lot of profit taking. We've seen the market explode. The NGX actually did 61.7%, which was phenomenal. It's for context that even outshines what it did for the entire 2025. So I mean, it's normal for investors to take profit, and that is why. I mean, I remember when we had to tell a lot of our viewers on why take profit is important. I mean, every professional investor
actually say take profit is a position.
Every investor, every professional investor. I do it. The organization I work for, we do it.
Hedge funds do
Everybody
does
it. Take profit. Rebalance portfolios. I mean, I had to do it myself. There was a portfolio that was literally doing 36% of my... There was an asset that was doing 36% of my portfolio. If you look at this asset called Micron, Micron has done... year to date, it has done over 200%. That is from January to now. I cannot sit on that. Yeah, I know that, of course, I need to let the profits run. Or let the good trades run. But I have to manage my portfolio. I can't be so skewed to Micron. It's a memory name, and it's been doing very well. And for context, since this time last year to now, it has done 900%, return. So those are the reasons why I do take profits. No matter how successful a name is, I cannot leave.
Always go to the market with a target. Always have target. So when you get there, you take profit.
Yeah, so that's what investors in the NGX are doing currently. They're taking profit for two reasons. Number one, we're taking profits to, of course, normally to rebalance our portfolios. And we're also taking profit because we need some liquidity, for the Dangote listing. It's in September, and we take profits now. By the end of next month will be June. By July, you will now be hearing second quarter earnings. I expect a lot of activity to happen in second quarter earnings. As a matter of fact, in this June, you are not going to have those explosive moves because people are basically taking profits. So sectorally, for oil and gas, let me start from there. Brent has been moving up and down, but it's still hanging around $96 per barrel. Now, what that means is that there is still that upward pressure on crude oil prices, and that means some names are doing well.
We actually have,
but people that were asking, I know people that were asking a lot of questions. When will Aradel come down? We want to invest in Aradel. It has come down from over $2,000. It's now $1,786. So it's a time you might want to ladder in. Like I told you, I have said this before. you don't want to put everything in at this point. I still have a price target built down, and I don't want to mention this because if I mention it on here, people will feel that I'm trying to speaking against Arrodale. I hold Arrodale actually, just so you know.
Okay.
So, but like I told you, when it got to that 2000, so I told you guys it's time to take profit. I was very insistent, take profit.
Yeah, we even have a video on that.
Yeah, there's a video that we did.
We say take profit, take profit. And somebody said no, that we're traders.
We said, so we are not taking. I mean, now I can, if I re-enter at this price, I'm going to buy more of those stocks.
Yeah,
that is the reason why we do take profit.
They'll take profit. I remember that video very, very well.
So that is that. Seplat is still.
It may likely actually come down because we saw recently, it's an unconfirmed report that the US and Iran will be having a ceasefire.
No. By the way, that's still news actually. As I spoke with you yesterday, there was the Iran is targeting. It's targeting as at yesterday. Iran is now targeting US.
Okay, the price will likely go up again.
Yeah. So so they have not been able to get an understanding as far as the peace deal is concerned. So we still expect the oil and gas sector to be up there. Seplat has not come down, but of course it will come down. It always does.
It will always come down.
Yeah, so you don't want to buy at the top. I said the same thing. Someone was saying, I don't think this Arrodale will come. I said it will come down. People must take profit. That is, it's a manual. You know, newbies, when newbies come into the market,
they don't understand.
They don't understand. They believe to chase price. You don't chase price.
The market cannot go to infinity.
Of course, it moves and corrects, moves and corrects, and that's even healthy for the market because if it moves that way,
nobody will be able to enter.
And nobody, number one, number two, that will mean a lot of imperfections, and that means that if anything happens, that market can dump to almost zero. So that's one. So for energy sector, then for banking sector, we've seen. I mean, people were asking this GTCO, when will it come down? GTCO from 157 naira to naira per share, it is now down to 140. The same people that were saying that were asking that question, I'm very certain they will not buy it. They will not understand that this is the time you begin to accumulate. You begin to accumulate.
Take more positions.
Yes, because don't wait on people. Unfortunately, like to wait until when the earnings call show up, and then investors rush in and try to buy. That's not when you make money. You make money when the market is calm. Everybody is like, people are looking elsewhere and all that. That's when you make money.
Once the fundamental of the business are okay.
Okay.
There's no problem.
Then you make. I'm going to save the rest for when we mention those names.
All right, now we looked at it from the energy sector to the banking sector. I think that the stock exchange, Nigerian stock exchange, majorly has those two sectors.
And then telecoms, of course.
So now let's
then industrials.
Now let's mention names. Now let's itemize it and actually mention names. Let's see, because we mentioned 3 names the last time at the beginning of May, Arrodale and the rest of it. If you go there, you can see that video. We are still watching it, but we want to still add some to those the watch list. We are still looking at these other ones because we are seeing some positive signs with this one. So we are going to list them one after the other. How many? 5 of them?
I'm going to before I go there. This morning, I added to my GTCO, I added to my Face Holdco, I added to my Access Bank, and I added to UBA.
Okay.
And I have reasons for that. Number one, they have cooled down. Like GTCO has cooled down to 140. From 1.5 something, it has cooled down to 140. Face Holdco is now down to 67. That's some good price. Okay. Now Access Bank is now trading is down to 24. It's actually been with that. Of course, there will be.
You talk about
the reason why Access Bank will not go down. I mean, it's $4 above the last issue price.
It's already down.
It's down.
It can't go down again.
It's down, and I keep on adding to Access Bank. I'm going
to hold you on that particular one.
Hold me. You know, like I told you, I know what happened to Access Bank, but Access Bank has a lot. In fact, Access Bank has so much. Access Bank is a 52 trillion. It has 52 trillion naira in assets. I said the only thing that actually was like a black sheep in the last call was their impairment losses. And CBN said you can't pay dividends when you have such large impairment losses. Because the priority should be to recoup rather than
they're trying to pay.
Trying to pay. Because again, this is actually people's money,
Yeah.
deposits. So that is the challenge with Access Bank, and that's why I still believe that bank is a strong name. I believe it. It's trading at 0.3 price to book.
Yeah.
It's very poor if you look at it from all angles, and the fundamentals are so. It's for me, it's a very huge dislocation. And do you know why? Financials will make a lot of money when you look at the Nigerian stock market and look at other markets in that category. Nigerian stocks are ridiculously undervalued. Prominent among which are the banks, and which is even why I've added to UBA. UBA to me is still undervalued. Very, in fact, criminally undervalued.
At this point?
Yes, it's undervalued at this point. UBA has no business to be selling at this valuation. It has no business to be selling. This is a bank that is present across the continent and even in other countries outside the continent.
Okay.
This is a bank that has, if you want to really move capital around the continent, UBA is where to go to. So it has that spread. Some of UBA, look at the last call that they did. What came out from their foreign subsidiaries was very impressive. So I know that it's not popular. I know the backlash I get whenever I talk about UBA, I say, well, buy UBA, buy Access Bank. People will like, okay, so this guy,
I know what it is.
I used to think this guy is a smart investor. I now know he's not a smart investor. But the thing is that I have been through this over and over again.
Yeah.
People keep on saying this.
Yeah.
So for the full gas, I've picked 5 of them.
Okay.
The only one I've not added to is Zenith Bank.
All right, let's start now. Let's start calling the one after.
So now the other name is the ICO Insurance, the new guy I just brought in. Why am I looking at ICO Insurance? If you look at this explosion in bank stocks, why? Because of the consolidation and the recapitalization
yes.
in the banking sector. Guess the next sector
is insurance sector.
Is insurance sector.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, and the reason why I've also
we are going to see a more robust insurance.
Yes, we are going to see a very robust insurance industry.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I want you to look at 2 things. Number one, with the Dangote listing, we're going to have an explosion in the NGX.
Okay.
When companies come, let me speak. I mean, this might not apply to retail investors, but institutional investors don't invest without insurance.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't. Anything can happen to even the best investment. So you want to take out an insurance against that investment so that in case anything happens, you are protected. If we expect the NGX to move up with the Dangote listing, we expect companies to begin to insure those investments. And this is going to bring a lot of, in terms of premium, it's going to bring a lot to these companies. And another thing you should understand is, whether you like it or not, the depth of market in Nigeria is still very low. It's a pre-election season. So political investors will begin to price in, or insurance companies will begin to price in political instability. So what does that mean? It means insurance premium will get higher. And that means that's a good outlook for insurance companies. So that's why I'm putting insurance. I've actually taken a position at ICO Insurance. Then, of course, I cannot fail to mention that Nigeria is now in the frontier market list for FTSE. So Russell. So what that means is that we expect up to, in fact, predictions is like up to $1 billion will come in terms of investment. That investment will need some form of insurance, and you don't just work with. Even if you are taking out insurance with foreign partners, insurance partner, they like to work with domestic, because these guys understand the local policies, they understand the local terrain and all of that. So I took that out. So basically, ICO Insurance has very good volume. So that's why I really look at this. I mean, there are a few other insurance names that you can also be considering. Like I said, 2 reasons: the insurance recapitalization as well as the inflow of investment, which will need in insurance for to really work well. Then I also decided to step a little bit outside the Nigerian market.
Okay.
Yes. The reason is, even though this show targets mostly Nigerian people, but who told you cannot invest in foreign
From anywhere.
Someone called me. She bought, I think she watched one of our videos and bought S&P 500 at 6,700. Now S&P 500 is at 7,500. I mentioned Micron. When we mentioned Micron was trading at a little above 400. Now it's trading at $935 and $45 per share. Now, I mean, so that tells you that, I mean, there are opportunities outside the country. Snowflakes.
Yeah.
Snowflakes did very well. So this it did just yesterday alone, it did 36%. Just in one trading session. There are these opportunities. There was a time we talked about the hyperscalers. We talked about we also mentioned Oracle. Oracle did very well. So just
don't be limited.
Don't be limited. Don't say, oh, because I'm in Nigeria. There are platforms where we listed some platforms that allow you to really access the foreign markets, and there are alphas, especially now when we talk about space companies and AI companies, memories, power. In fact, some of the names I'm going to mention that are around power supply, because power is going to be something very, very in demand, because I think some districts are actually restricting expansion of data centers because they are saying that it's taking a lot of their energy. Guess who will benefit? Even the hyperscalers, the Microsoft, the Meta, the Amazon, and you name them, have actually signed land-breaking contracts for nuclear energy supply generation. So energy, space, memory, and then chip makers. These are the guys that are going to make. So let's just look at the names that I took a position earlier today. I took a position in Meta. I remember when we were calling Meta. Meta was 609, 604. I know people were like, because sometimes we almost call prices when the prices are going down, and then people are like, this doesn't look like it actually has.
It still remains. You buy the bottom so that you can sell the top. Don't buy the top. Don't buy the top.
So Meta is still a good play for us. Yeah. Nobody, I mean, Meta has they are now monetizing WhatsApp. They are going to monetize WhatsApp in terms of they are going to be paid plans for WhatsApp, for Instagram,
for
all their platforms. Yeah. That is going to be, you can imagine the kind of cash flow that will come in. And that should be able to help them to meet their capex demands, to even help them to be very competitive. Yeah. Now so Meta is a name for me. So I think you could look at Meta. It's going to perform. I believe it's going to perform well, because as far as the AI story is concerned, Meta is a behemoth. Then the next one is Nvidia. Why am I looking at Nvidia? Is close to $6 trillion, and I mean, does it really make sense to invest in a company? I don't look at the market cap. I look at the price to earnings ratio. Nvidia at the 6 trillion is trading at 18.8 times forward earnings. And that is even going to collapse by analyst prediction or projection. Is going to collapse to 15 times earnings. Do you know what 15 times earnings means? It's going to be ridiculously. Its colleagues are trading at 30 times earnings. So that means Nvidia is half as cheap as those names. Extremely strong cash flow and all of that. So if you are betting on the future, remember, whoever wins the race, the AI race,
the AI still wins.
Nvidia sits at the nexus. Yeah. Nvidia has literally invested in almost all the companies. Yeah. So they are building a fortress, a very big moat.
Whoever wins,
that you need to. Whoever wins, it's like a pick and shuffle strategy. Whoever wins the race, Nvidia is going to benefit immensely. Now, I also look at another name, Tesla. In terms of stocks, my largest portfolio remains Tesla. My largest portfolio. Now, but I still added to Tesla. Why am I doing that? I heard Elon Musk muse last week of the possibility of merging Tesla and SpaceX. Yeah. I don't know what, if it eventually happens, I don't know what the ratio would be, though. in terms of exchanging Tesla shares for SpaceX, but I think it's going to push very hard. Tesla is trading at over 200 times forward earnings. Yes, I know that, and that should be very crazy in terms of how do you tell someone to buy into such a highly.
Yeah.
But the point is, Tesla is sitting the biggest when it comes to battery for EVs, when it comes to Optimus robots, when it comes to full self-driving, when it comes to robot taxis. Each of these four can make Tesla a $5 trillion company. That's true. So don't look at its earnings. Don't look at current earnings. No. Tesla is for me, it's an innovation play. It's a disruptive innovation play.
They have not even started.
They have not started. That's going to be the prediction is that there will be by 2030 we'll have more robots than humans on Earth. Do you know what that means? And these robots are going to be very cheap. Now, your laundry, you can't do it yourself. Cooking, everything you can think of, especially most of those repetitive tasks, robots will be the one doing it. Yeah. Who do you think will control that market? Tesla. It's Tesla. So that's why we mentioned Tesla. Another mention here is Vertiv. Vertiv is an energy player. I cannot talk about AI revolution. I cannot invest in AI without investing in energy, because energy is going to. Why do you think Elon Musk wants to create to establish or to build data centers in space? Energy, because he has already identified the fact that it is almost impossible for us to be able to the kind of AI revolution he's looking at. The Earth cannot produce that kind of energy, whereas the sun can produce that the energy that is required. Energy companies are already very stressed, and added to the disturbances we have in the Strait of Hormuz, that's why most of these companies are even exploring nuclear solutions. So energy stocks are going to do well as far as the AI story is going to.
Before we actually go, because we do a lot of analysis on different stocks and different economy. So before we go, let's look at the Nigerian stocks again. So for context,
I'm looking at the Fogas.
Okay.
The Fogas will do well because the banks. That's what I mean. Fogas, Zenith Bank, GT Bank. It's the tier 1 banks. Zenith Bank, GT Bank. If you want to do Fogas, First Holco, UBA, GT Co. Then you have Access Core, and then of course you have Zenith Bank. Those banks will do well because of the investment that we expect.
Oil, Aradel is coming up again.
Oil, Aradel is in a good place that you can start to accumulate. We expect it to still go down.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the imbalances that we have.
Okay.
If you look at the chart, both the weekly and the daily charts, then so that's also a name. Then we are also looking at, for insurance space, ICO Insurance.
Okay.
There are a few other insurance, but for us, the liquidity is one of the reasons why we don't really delve into some of those tiny penny stocks.
Somebody asked about that. I just say no, we don't do penny stocks.
Penny stocks. It's not because we don't see these penny stocks, but the point is we don't want a Hotel California situation. We don't want you to get into a stock and then you call us because I know you call or message us and tell us, okay, how can I sell off my position? Now another thing is you also know that if it's a dividend stock, once you get in, then once the company announces dividends, then you should be eligible. You can actually rotate this dividend.
How many have we listed today? Is it 5?
So we have listed the Fogas 1.
Okay.
ICO Insurance 2.
Okay.
That's for in the NGX. Of course, Aradel we just mentioned in passing, but we also mentioned stocks in the US market. We talked about Meta. We talked about Tesla. We talked about Nvidia. And then, of course, we talked about Vertiv.
You can actually try those ones. You can try from anywhere. With your Bamboo app, with any of the apps, you can actually try from it. The processes of actually
just convert the Naira to dollar.
All can be done on that your investment app.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for coming. And it has been a very nice one today. All right. Before we go, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and also put on the bell on this channel because of the great content we bring. And also do not forget that the link to our community is also on our profile. You can use that link to join us and get through to us. And finally, The illiterate of 21st century are not those who did not go to school or those who will not go to school, but are those who have refused to evolve as the environment is evolving. My name is Providence. I'll see you again.